Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new episode of your favorite weekly show, Bahrain Now, where we host the country's latest talents, trends, and initiatives. I'm Bara Abdallah. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. So our next guest is a voiceover artist. You might heard his name or his voice in different ads, and a content creator, the one and only Hussein Amiri. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. And how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. So, the voice of many ads and a lot of dubs as well. You've been doing great with that.
Thank you so much. I'm starting when it comes to dubs. I'm just an amateur. I consider myself an amateur. Yeah.
The Joker. Mufasa,
I'm just
Lion
exploring,
King.
just trying to test a few things and see how it goes.
Amazing. So voiceover acting, tell us a little bit about that, how you started.
To be honest, I've been told to do something with my voice for the past 10, 12, 15 years, something like that. And I personally never had the confidence. And I was always scared to stand behind a mic.
Really?
Or portray or project my voice to the public. Until one day I was like, you know what, which was 2019, I just started 2 years back.
Okay.
And I was like, I need to start,
Okay.
It's not about competition, it's not about anything about challenging anyone but myself. So I'm like, let me start, and yeah.
Awesome.
Here I am.
So now you found your voice, I would say. You trained it, and you're still training it, I guess,
Yes,
as well.
always, you have to.
So how do you feel about you being a voiceover actor?
I think it's very interesting because I never thought I would be to begin with.
Okay.
So when I think of it now, I'm like, okay, I've always tried to communicate with everyone around me, even people I don't know, and overseas as well. And I think this is the channel that I found to reach others and communicate with others. So I don't just see myself as a voiceover artist or a voiceover actor in the sense that, okay, I need to step behind a mic and record my voice for a client or a specific project. I'm like, I need to use my voice to communicate with the world.
Amazing. So it's your instrument.
Absolutely, I love that. It's my instrument.
Beautiful. So now what I notice as well in your work is that you put a lot of effort, but at the same time, it feels that there's a lot of emotion
Yes.
in what you do. It's like we actually feel the change, like when you hear your voice or your performance. You don't only just take us into this work, but this is a journey that you take us with your voice. How do you do that?
Firstly, I'm glad that I have this impact because this is the goal. This is the ultimate goal for people to, for listeners and viewers to feel that communication. You don't need to see me, even if I put a blank screen and give you whatever speech I have or whatever thoughts I want to share.
Right.
If I'm able to take you on that journey, as you said, then I'm doing a good job, I guess.
You are.
I think what happens is you need to live the script.
Okay.
As long as you live the script and disconnect from everyone and everything around you, and you live the script literally, like you're on that piece of paper, you're a part of that context, of that story, you are telling it.
Amazing.
You see? Exactly. You see how you're listening to me now? It's
Right.
the same thing. As long as you're on board with all your emotions, people will be on board with you.
Amazing. Do you do some, like, I would say, rituals? Maybe
There are
practices,
rituals.
warm-ups?
There are rituals. I don't think there's a specific template or model of rituals for everyone. I mean, taking care of your voice has many different ways of achieving that. But I guess it's more of the mindset. If this is in the right place and this is taken care of, at least to a certain extent, then you've got the perfect combination.
Beautiful. Now, the thing I would say, the trend you've been working on as well, and a lot of people know you for as well, is the dubbing.
Yeah, I didn't expect that, but yeah.
It's beautiful. The Joker, man, Lion King, and other works. So what made you go there?
Exploration.
Okay.
Exploration. It was a department that I doubted myself in. And when you doubt yourself in a specific department, if you're a curious human being, as we all are,
Right.
but you've got your mind into it, you'll just go for it. You're like, what's the worst thing that could happen? Let me
Right.
try it. If I fail, or if I don't do as good as I thought I would, it will be there. I'm going to post it either way on my social media. So I keep going back to it and remind myself how bad or good or okay I am, and to keep me going. It's self-motivation.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, the thing is, like, taking your voice from Mufasa in Lion King to Zazu and all the way to the Joker.
Yeah.
So is that like tapping into different levels of your vocals?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, if you look at it this way, there are basics when it comes to vocal cords, and I'm not an expert, okay? So I don't want to give out information and make them seem like facts, because they're not, but this is my personal experience. That, as you previously said, it's my instrument, and it's everyone's instrument. So logically, I'd have a high pitch, a normal pitch,
Right.
which I'd call neutral, and a low pitch, okay? But I'm pretty sure there are different chords in between. So if you don't explore, you won't find out. But once you do, you're not any different than any other instrument that
Right.
has different keys and notes. So once you tap into that, you start exploring with things like dubbing. For
Right.
instance, when I did the dubbing, I didn't mean to sound like Rowan Atkinson when it comes to Zazu. I didn't mean to sound like Mufasa or the Joker. It's not about imitation or doing impressions. It's about finding that spectrum or range of vocals that suits this character,
Amazing.
and just projecting it within that spectrum. You know what I mean?
Wow, to unlock your potential. That's just
unlock your
like a
potential.
superpower on its own.
It is, it is, it is. You feel
Beautiful.
powerful. and
I
you're
know,
like,
right?
Wow, I didn't know I can do this. And even if it doesn't sound amazing to everyone else, you're
Right.
like, I'm happy.
Awesome. So all of that right now, you know, you showcase your work on Instagram, your main, I think, social media account.
Yes.
And now you are right now considered as well as a social media content creator, especially with Talks with Amiri, your
Yes.
podcast, man. Tell us
Yeah.
more about that.
Well, Random Talks with Amiri, I'd like to say it this way.
Right.
It came from the people, and it's for the people.
Okay.
So one night I was just literally bored, and I was like, I don't feel like recording. So let me go live on my Instagram, and it was a Monday.
Okay.
So I went live, and I saw that people are interacting, people I know, strangers, whatever, and I love talking to everyone.
All right.
You know, so I just started engaging in like the most random conversations with like 10,000 different people at the same time. Not literally 10,000 people. I don't have that many
All right,
viewers.
that's still a good number.
But, you know, as an exaggeration. But I saw that people liked it, and when I was done, I'm like, why don't I always do this?
Exactly.
And talk to people. Since I'm using my voice as a channel of communication, let me start communicating more with people. So I put out a poll on my story the next day, and I'm like, what should I call it? It's your show as much as it's mine.
Right.
It's been a tough year. We want some positive vibes out there. Let's start communicating. Let's start talking and enjoying some positive vibes together. So that's pretty much how it started. And then eventually I started conducting episodes or interviews
Yeah.
and discussions, chats, whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it. And I have different guests every week from different fields, different industries and crafts. I don't care what you do, as long as we can have a decent conversation, let's do it.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
So now you're creating content, you have your podcast going on,
Yeah.
and you do your VO. With
Yeah.
all of that, I mean, there got to be some challenges that you face from
Of
time to
course.
time. Can we hear more about that?
The challenges are mainly how to communicate with different age groups, how to communicate with people of different cultures and different understandings and thoughts and lifestyles. You know, end of the day, I would love to speak to everyone. That's the ultimate goal of communication, to be able to speak to everyone, for your words and your voice to land safely and smoothly on everyone's ears and thoughts. So that's the goal, but that's the challenge as well. You know, like how can I speak to everyone with the same speech that I have?
Okay.
But at the same time, as they say, if you look at the bright side, that challenge, you can turn it into a opportunity. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
if this is a challenge as to how I can communicate or how could I communicate with everyone of different
Right.
ages and all, that just gives me more content to create. So the more the merrier.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. Now, some people say that you're right now actually living the dream, but I'm sure like you have your own dreams that you want to achieve as well, or reach out to, or you see them getting weaved in reality. So
Yeah.
can we hear about that?
Living the dream, I mean, I'm blessed, and we're all blessed for everything that we have. So being blessed is a dream on its own, but it's the journey of exploration that is exciting. Because once you reach that so-called dream, that limitation that you put to your potential, what's going to happen after that? So I tend not to put an actual dream,
Okay.
okay, but to put a, let's say, maybe unachievable dream up there so that I
Yeah.
can achieve great things. Whereas if I have small dreams, I'll achieve small things on the way.
Right.
So when it comes to dreams, if I may emphasize on that, I like to branch it into two parts.
Okay.
I've got a selfish dream, being a
Alright.
human being. We've got that.
Of course.
I've got a selfish dream, and I've got a selfless dream. I'll start with the selfish one.
Okay.
The selfish dream is for, inshallah, one day you and everyone else walk into the cinema and hear my voice on a Hollywood movie trailer.
It's gonna happen. We're gonna see that, right?
That's one of those things
Sure.
that might happen, but I need a lot of external forces to be on my side, including luck, to be very frank. There are a lot of external forces that I need to be on my side, and I'm patient. I'm not worried, especially since my craft, I can keep doing it until I'm 80, you know? So even if I make it to Hollywood when I'm 60, I'm happy.
All
I
right.
don't mind. The next 30 years are gonna be fun. But the selfless dream would be to be able to achieve that communication with everyone, and just, I wish there were more than 24 hours in a day, or more than 7 days a week, you know, so that I can express with everything that's inside. I've got a lot to say and a lot to share, and I just think that I'm ready to say or speak out loud on behalf of many people who keep a lot of things in, and it's time for us to communicate and let it out, because it's fine. In the end, at core, we're all equal, we're all human, so let's talk about everything. You know?
Amazing.
So that's the selfless dream, and hopefully that will open doors for people to start pursuing the same journey, and hopefully do so good that I would never even be remembered. I don't care. But as long as it does open doors and people start doing more of it in an organized manner, in a civilized manner, and their core foundation to be nothing but respect with good intentions, man, this place is going to be a much, much, much better place.
It's gonna be a good place to be at, that's for
the
sure.
world as a whole, I mean.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So before we end this conversation,
Yeah.
your line, put your lights on.
Yes.
So what is your last advice? I would say anything you want to say to your viewers.
Yes. Put your lights on. I never want to come off as telling people what to do. Like, put your lights on. Learn this. Do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to come off as that, but it's me learning with you at the same time. So you and I, we put our lights on. We learn together. We learn more about tolerating one another, about coexisting, and just supporting one another, because in the end, it's all about support, and that's all I want to do.
Amazing. So you being a voiceover artist,
Yes.
can you give us a line?
One line.
One
Okay.
line.
Speaking of the movie trailers that
Okay.
we talked about very briefly
Right.
earlier on, there's a line that I used in one of the miscellaneous demos that I have on my social media accounts.
Okay.
And I can't even remember what movie it's from, but I want you to imagine with me, you're stepping into the cinema, you just sat down, you've got your popcorn, the ads are done, and it all goes dark at once. And all you can hear is, in a world where the future can be seen, everybody runs. But you don't run out of the cinema. But I mean, it's that kind of a thing. Forgive me if I'm not giving the actual effects.
No
but
bad.
that's the kind of thing, that's the kind of mood that I love to live in and love for people to live in with me.
Okay.
However, you can also go into a completely different field and be like, for example, EA Sports. It's in the game. I might be on a video game one day. You never know what happens. But I'm open to anything and everything.
Goosebumps. Amazing
Cool.
stuff. Wallah Hussein Amiri, thank you so much for the
Amiri, thank you.
inspiration. And we're going to look forward to more projects and pretty much hearing your voice in one of the Hollywood movies. It's going to happen. Which movie would I want to be at? Marvel, DC?
I prefer horror movies.
Horror movies?
Yeah. I think I've got it. I don't mind anything to begin with, but I think thrillers and horror movies.
Okay, I'm curious. Give me a line.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
A line from
For
a horror movie?
Can it be horrific?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Okay, we'll save that for social media.
We
How
will. And I promise the next one
Yeah.
is going to be something like that, dedicated to you guys.
Dedicated to us,
Yes.
to horrify us. Amazing. Well, thank you so much,
Thank
Hussein,
you.
for the amazing conversation. Nothing
you.
but blessings to you.
Habibi, thank you so much, and thank you to everyone for this phenomenal show. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, put your lights on. All that happening here on Bahrain Now. Stay tuned for more. And now with a message regarding the COVID-19 updates with one of the Ministry of Health's representatives.
Thank you for having me today, and thank you for our dear watchers for being with us today. My name is Dr. Reham Ahmed Al-Jarf. I'm a family consultant, and I'm also a regional medical officer in the Ministry of Health. I'm here today to speak to you about the importance of keeping to the precautions of not spreading out the COVID-19. As you have seen that we had cases being reported recently that have caused us around 196 positive cases per day. As you're all aware, once we had it is only 114. So what does this reflect? It reflects that there hasn't been enough commitment from each individual and from the community as well. And this is for the safety, not only for ourselves, but also for our loved ones. So let me emphasize on something. Social distancing. I know you've all heard it a lot, and maybe some of you have been just tired, burnt out from being away from people you love or things you're used to do. But physical distance, which equals to social distance, just requires from you a bit of distancing, which means keeping away from anyone away from your household for around, say, 2 meters. And always be cautious. Have on your mask, always wash your hands, and also sterilize them. That doesn't mean you have to cut off and be alone. You still can have all the communication you require with the family members, and of course, the social media has given us a lot of varieties to speak to others. Number 2, if you need to leave your house, just leave it for any emergencies or urgencies. When you run your errands, make sure you don't go out during the spike hours or let's say the peak hours. Try to also take your precaution at every time you're outside by wearing gloves if you require, having on your mask, and as well keep your social distancing. I've also noticed that some people, they're not highly committed to the social distance, so beware from what you're doing. You can keep away from them. You can give advice in a polite way. I think people will accept that and respect you for it. Something else I'd like to speak about, and this is my, let's say, go away message, the vaccine that people have been receiving. Some of people thought that by taking the vaccine, it's okay not to have the social distance. They think that it's okay to go to gathering or even not have on their masks. So this is a wrong message. Having taken the vaccine gives you high immunity. Yes, it will decrease the symptoms that you occur, but yet immunity differs from a person to another, and you still might get infected as well and spread the infection to others. So please take care and keep safe.
Hi, my name is Madhu and I am an artist. I have been living in Bahrain since 5 years, but I have been practicing art since last 12 years, and also I am an author of the book Everest in My Heart, and I love trekking on mountains. So my art journey in Bahrain, it began with Al Rahma Center. I went there for a painting competition 5 years back, and there I won the competition. They liked the concept of my art, the colors, the design, and there I met Mr. Mohammed Taha. He is my mentor now, and with him I have done multiple projects in Bahrain School, Bahrain Beach and Bahrain Hospital. So yeah, now all this has led me here, and now I have my own art exhibition with my daughter Sejal at the most prestigious venue in Bahrain, that is Harbour Gate. I love traveling. When I travel, I not only just see the sights, I also take them in, and the nature, it inspires me a lot. The cultures, the people I meet and the places I go to, they always leave a deep impact in me, and when I start painting, something or the other comes back to me and I try to bring that on my canvas, and that is my inspiration. This art piece is called Ariel, and it means bountiful forest. So whenever somebody admires this, the feeling of vibrancy, abundance, joy and prosperity should come across. That is what I felt when I was going through this, when I was making this piece. This is one of my favorite art pieces. It's called Hayrat. It's a Welsh word and it means longing for a home you have not been to. So I have been to Mount Everest base camp, but now I want to go to the summit of Mount Everest. So I have a real big longing, huge longing for that, to climb all the 7 summits on the 7 continents. I'm looking forward to that, and as far as my art future prospects are, I want to open an art gallery, and also for my next collection I want to work on abstract art where I can paint all the emotions, the feelings and the excitement I can feel when I am around Bahrain. And Bahraini society is a very welcoming society. I would like to thank the people here for all the love and encouragement I'm getting here. Thank you. So I would like to present my resin art collection to you now. This is something new which I've been experimenting with, and this first piece is called Sapphire. It's a sea storm kind of thing, but also it connects to our feelings, which are turbulent sometimes, which are calm sometimes. So this represents the sea and the sea in us, that is our feelings. So this piece is called Azure. It shows the mystery and magnificence which we feel in ourselves. All the layers, when they come together, they become beautiful if we are able to control it or if we are able to harness it. So this is Azure, and this is the most special one, Rouge. It's dedicated to Bahrain. Bahrain, 2 seas, where the 2 seas merge beautifully. So the community, people here, they merge beautifully and live together. The colors are of Bahraini flag, and the pearl in the center relates to the pearl diving history of Bahrain. So this is Rouge for you.
I'm Sejal Sarda. I'm 17 years old and I'm a student in St. Christopher's, Bahrain. I'm in year 12 and I do subjects such as physics, math and English. However, my passion and my expression of medium is art since a really young age. I needed something to be able to express myself through, be creative, and something that I can improve in, and art was that for me. So I experimented with landscapes, with sceneries, with still life. However, portraiture connected to me the most. When I look at people's faces, I feel that I connect with them, and to convey their stories and characteristics, I like to paint it. So Ama is one of my favorite paintings because I photographed her in Nepal and she was dancing in a temple, and I asked her if I could take a picture and she said yes. So when I took the picture, she got really shy, and when I came back, capturing that, drawing her wrinkles, using texture and newspaper, really accumulated the whole experience for me, and I'm really grateful for that. This piece is called Ariel, and I made her to portray my love for the ocean and the water, and I really wanted to be contemporary with this art style, so I painted blues and different shades of green to highlight the diversity of the ocean, as well as make it playful to bring out the eyes and the characteristics of the face. This is also one of my favorites because it was really fun to experiment with the different mediums, and I feel it turned out nice. I'm really grateful that this exhibition happened in the first place because it helped me grow and also discover how much passion I had for art. So in the future, I plan to have more successful exhibitions with my mom and also photograph and learn more and study art in a deeper way so I can become more experienced and wise in this art field. I would love to pursue something in architecture or architectural engineering, designing.
This is exuberance, the theme of our exhibition. It means full of life, joy and happiness. So I'm a very lively person. I love to live in the moment. Do not dwell too much in the past or do not overthink the future. Whatever is here, do the best of it. So that's exuberance for us. And this painting, which is the centerpiece, it's called Lumbini. It's the birthplace for Buddha in Nepal. So it's a dedication to our home country also. And the lotus, the colors here represent our inner happiness. The mirror in this painting, it gives you a sense that you should reflect on yourself from time to time to just know that you are doing good. And you should see through to the inner beauty, inner colors which you have in life. Even the smallest of things can give you happiness if you can see through it.
This is a combination of our art styles merged into one. I specialize in portraiture. She specializes in the use of color and mandalas and still life too. And we combine that together to convey and present this beautiful painting, the Buddha, but it's called Lumbini. And it depicts the use of different colors in contrast to the tones and the textures in the painting itself.
And we had lots of fun making this painting. Sometime I wouldn't like something and she would love it. Others time I wouldn't like what she does and I would go all over it. But finally, when we finished, we loved what we did and it also reflects us. So yeah, we love it.
That was good. Yeah? Hi, you guys. How are you? We're here at Pro Tennis Academy where we're here to experience something new for the both of us.
Hello everyone, I'm Winner and she's Lucia. Oh, oops, I mean I'm Walid, she's Zahra.
And we're here to experience something very new. We're here at Pro Tennis Academy and we're here to have fun basically. So come along, let's go.
We should give them a tour.
We should give them a tour, yeah.
Let's go.
Hi Zahra, Coach Fatma. Good, ready for some tennis? Let's go. Okay, so basically, tennis, we have two basic moves. We have the forehand and backhand. Forehand is one hand. Yep. So basically, you stand sideways, swing with your racket here. When the ball approach, hit the ball here, not close to you, not far to you. Just hit it, finish the swing. Okay, what about the backhand? No, no twisting, no injuries. Hit the ball, finish your swing. Easy? Okay, let's do the backhand. Backhand is, no, turn this side, Ariel. Backhand, we have to use both hands, okay? So basically, same move, just go, we hit the ball, finish the swing. Cool? Let's start.
I've been playing tennis for about 8 years, I think, and I started with pro 4 years ago. It's amazing. We usually we do some warm-ups, we run around the court, and then do some dynamic stretches, and then we start. It's been amazing. Like tennis, it's so fun, and it's such an amazing sport to play. And playing with such amazing coaches, such as Coach Fatma and Coach Ahmed, it's been amazing. It's not just tennis, it's a lifestyle too.
Hopefully you enjoyed the coverage as much as we did. But we have a match to catch.
We do have a match to catch. Don't forget to join us for more adventures and more activities.
Stay active,
Yeah.
but have fun.
Have fun.
Reporting from Bahrain International, I'm Walid Al-Doushi.
And I'm Zahra Bakar.
See you.
See you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we made it on time. Jason Carter, we made it.
We did. It's cold outside tonight,
I
right?
know, I
Wind and
know.
everything.
But all of that, but we made it in our studio. What do you think?
Amazing, absolutely. I love this jib and all these cameras and lights. It's like a toy house for me, It's
I
wonderful.
know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I
yeah.
know. So, filmmaker,
Yes,
a documentary producer,
yes,
musician,
yes.
vocalist.
No,
Okay.
no. I've adapted a sort of speaking to camera technique and voice thing, but not a singer, no.
Amazing,
No.
amazing. So, where to start? Oh my God. So, let's talk about you being a musician.
Yeah, I started playing the guitar when I was very young, when I was 9 years old.
Wow.
I told my dad when I was 11 I was going to be a professional musician. I had a vision for that already in that age.
Okay.
And I guess that's lucky because not many of us even now know what we're going to do with our lives, right? But I just knew that was what I wanted to do. Got a job in a factory at 16 because that was the family thing, and hated that. And then left the factory at 19 and a half and went to live in London to find my musical career. So I left with a suitcase and a guitar and a record player.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I can say that you have a free spirit, adventurous spirit,
Yeah, I do, yeah.
like always taking an adventure and leap of faith.
Yeah, leaps of faith are really important, I think. I think when we take leaps of faith, we grow. I noticed I grow the most when I take the most risks, basically.
Okay.
That's for me anyway.
Okay.
So I went to London and got jobs playing in restaurants and cafes and met some musicians and learned. And then did some sessions for people. And then I came to Dubai in '93, my first kind of sort of longer paid job. So I was playing the classical guitar in the Dubai Hilton, the old Dubai Hilton, when Dubai was a one-tower town,
Okay.
Very dusty and very friendly and,
Right.
awesome.
Okay.
And I remember the times from Dubai, it was amazing from a young lad from Cornwall, from the southwest, arriving in the desert. And Dubai was just sort of at the end of an era where you could still find camels in the city centre and goat herders. Seriously.
Okay.
There were often camels in Dubai town. And so, yeah, I loved the desert and my first introduction to Khaliji music and language, of course. And I felt adopted by this land, and it kept coming back all the time, kept coming back and back and back, playing concerts and making films and blah, blah, blah. And so, yeah, Dubai was my base for from 93 to 97.
Wow.
And
Wow.
97, I left just as it was kind of blooming and sort of exploding, if you like.
Okay.
But I thought I
Okay.
needed to sort of really find my way as an international player. So I went back to London and worked hard on my craft even more, and then started touring internationally. And since then, I've toured in more than 100 countries.
100 countries.
Yeah.
So you've been to countries maybe I've never been to, of course, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Like some of the countries you performed in, I'm sure London, States.
North Korea,
North Korea.
Afghanistan,
Wow.
Pakistan, Uzbekistan, China, Russia. Yeah, amazing, right?
Adventurous. That's
Very
definitely-
adventurous. The North Korea and the Afghanistan were more my initiatives because I believe that music is a magical platform for intercultural dialogue.
Okay.
And when you bring music to a struggling environment, it gives a sense of peace. In that moment, of course. Music can't change the world, but I believe that music can influence those with the power to do so. And so I had some amazing collaborations with musicians in Kabul, in Afghanistan.
Wow.
Old Afghan musicians. And then North Korea, I played 5 concerts for 3,000 people per night.
Crazy.
For the general public.
Wow.
Which was unusual. And to get to that point, believe me, to be on stage in North Korea, the planning and permissions and paperwork and meetings, it took 9 months.
9 months.
9 months.
To get on stage in North Korea.
But even when I got to North Korea, I did a test concert for the government, the army.
Sure.
And I played my stuff like this, right? And this man stood up and he said, "Oh, Mr. Carter, we're very sorry. Your music is not suitable for the North Korean people." And I started laughing because I've come all this way and it's really hard to get there.
Right.
And I was like,
Right.
"You are joking." And I thought, because he wasn't. And he said, "Can you play British military music?"
Wow.
And I thought to
Wow.
myself, okay, I can't go home because it's only 2 flights a week and I had my passport and I had no plane ticket. So I was there on a one-way ticket, essentially. So I couldn't leave. And I said, you know, there's this big banner in the Opera House on the balcony, and it said, "Pyongyang welcomes our international artists for this, you know, bringing the world together through music," kind of thing. I said, what's that about? You know, I'm here because of that, and you tell me you're now controlling what I'm going to play.
Wow.
And of course, when you're a guest in Asia, as in my experience, if you're offended, they don't like, because they want to make you happy.
Right.
And so suddenly the atmosphere changed. They saw that I was not happy, which is a bit of a risk in North Korea, but still. After some conversation amongst them, they said, "Oh, no problem, you can play your pieces, okay." But it wasn't that simple because I played my pieces in the concerts, but they changed all the names of my pieces to sound communistic. And one piece they renamed Kim Jong-il riding on big white horse.
Okay, I guess we're just going to take a break right there. Wow, wow, woo!
Brilliant, but amazing experience. And,
I'm sure of it.
You learn from, story, as a filmmaker, you're a storyteller. And I've absorbed so many stories from my travels.
Right.
And I think, you've met a lot of people and you learn a lot from people. And same for me, I've absorbed so many stories and told so many stories. And so now, as a filmmaker, I want to help others tell their stories, if you like.
Right.
Yeah.
So from being a musician, how did you start becoming a filmmaker? It's like something happened on the way, on the path, and you became a filmmaker? It's like you just held a camera, like, I can do this.
Kind of. In '93, my dad gave me his old Olympus OM10 camera, film
Okay.
camera. And I realized I had a good eye. My dad was a really good photographer, so I had that influence. I took a lot of pictures in Dubai. I got some great shots of old people, Emiratis and buildings and stuff and development. The camera broke down, never used it again. And then I thought, as a musician, I thought it'd be great to make music videos. So I took an old Nokia N95 phone, which was the first phone that had a really good video.
Okay.
Right? Put it on a little kind of thing and did some videos with that. And they went quite well. So bought better cameras. And now we have Blackmagic cameras. And then one day, I wanted to make a narrative film. It wasn't my forte because music videos are very abstract and not dialogue. And Grain of Sand, the documentary about the pearl divers of Bahrain.
Right.
And where we met. And that was a huge learning curve for me, a huge, steep, good learning curve. And through that process, people asked me to make films for them. I never intended really to become a filmmaker. It wasn't my ambition. But I think through my passion for it and my love of people and telling stories, it was very natural to do that.
Beautiful. I mean, I still remember that part in the piece where you brought the Bahraini pole divers musicians, and you came along, and it was a beautiful fusion.
Yeah.
So how did you manage to make that happen?
I think, any musician who is open-spirited, open-minded, and willing to listen and play with others can do that. You can't just put a guitar player and a sitar player on stage and expect fusion to happen. They might play together.
Right.
but you've got to cross the bridge. So you've got to cross that bridge to the middle where you're sort of out of your comfort zone and learning and be open to learning. When both parties do that, it's magical because you are speaking each other's language, you're listening to each other, and it's very symbolic, you know, for our world generally. And so when that happens in a really beautiful way, it inspires others to do that with their lives, basically.
Right. So for those who are interested right now to watch the movie, where can we see it? Where can we find it?
Grain of Sand. So Grain of Sand is still touring film festivals right now after 3 years. It's still going. And I've got to decide the cutoff point when that stops, and I'll just release it on YouTube. And that'll be soon. That'll be soon.
Amazing. Now you have an artistic family, you know.
We do.
The wife, Lydia, is a vocalist. Your son, singer, actor, YouTuber. Tell us more about that.
So Lydia is a composer and a vocalist, and she has this very interesting, she loves to experiment with vocal techniques, so Mongolian throat singing, everything. And so she's very open-minded as a singer, so that's interesting for me because as a musician, I love to experiment. So we really connect on that. But our son Xavier is becoming an all-round artist in so many ways. He's only 9 years old.
Wow.
He is, in 1 year, has learned how to present to camera so well. I mean, he is such a natural presenter. And he's very funny and very engaging because kids are interested in things that we forget about. You know, kids bring up stories and issues that we take for granted, and I love that about what he's doing. But also, he's developed his Xaviland channel, and so he does unboxing videos, he does treehouse painting videos, he loves cooking. So now we've bought him a little stove, a couple of little Canon cameras, and we now do the whole cooking. And Lydia now, of course, is also, we transformed my channel, which was my music channel.
Right.
I had since 2006, when YouTube first started. And we transformed that into our Carter's channel.
Right.
So now it's music channel for me also. We've got my music section, but also then we bring in Carter in the car and all the other things we're doing into one place under different playlists.
Right.
Which is great. And that helps the channel immensely, to be honest.
Totally. I mean, Cars in the Car now, that's been pretty much booming, you know?
Yeah,
with your beautiful convertible Mercedes.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
I found that car in an old garage in Bahrain. I went to look at another car, an old yellow. I wanted to buy a Mercedes.
Okay.
Looking at one of those big old, you know, sort of, I think it's a 280. I saw it and I thought, it was so beyond repair. But I saw this in the garage. I said, what's that? And he said, oh, that's been sitting there for 7 years, doesn't work. It was really covered in dust.
Okay.
Didn't start. And I said, well, that one, can you get it working? And he said, well, yeah, okay, I'll try. So within a week, he got the car working and I drove it away.
Amazing.
And a lot of issues with it. So over the last 3 years, I've been doing it myself. I've been fixing it up. But it goes great.
Amazing.
And from the beginning, we thought, let's do like a little show in the car.
Right.
Get a GoPro, some mics, but we never got around to it. You know, life is busy. And then suddenly, COVID started. And we thought, I think it's forced everyone to rethink what they're doing.
Totally.
I really believe that as artists, we have a certain sense of responsibility, or we have a responsibility to bring hope to people because we can. Now, it's also difficult for us because, you know, we have less gigs and less work, but we have these tools at our fingertips to help others, to inspire others. And Carter in the Car it's a very simple thing. We put the mics in the car, the cameras there, get guests in the car talking about their lives in Bahrain. And it's very simple. We have a rule, only positive news, only positive stories, nothing controversial.
Okay.
And it's awesome. And we've had some awesome guests in the car, and we're going to get you in the car soon.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Convertible. It's a beautiful weather.
It's a bit cold.
When we had it, like, you know, a nice intro to the place, but didn't have a proper sit-down, a podcast in that car.
That's right.
We'll make that happen.
We'll do that, yeah.
So, amazing talk. I'm sure there's way more to talk about, but now we want to see you perform. What you call that instrument that you got?
It's called a harp guitar.
A harp guitar?
Yes, yeah. So as a guitarist, I started playing classical guitar when I was 9, and the harp guitar is more of a sort of a step on from that in a way, but branching out. It's got a big body, so the sound is massive.
Yeah.
It's Baroque instruments, they're very old. And what I love about the harp guitar is that every instrument is different. So mine's got 6 and 6 guitar strings, 6 bass strings. You can have, I've seen guitars with 30, 40 strings. I had one with 18.
18.
I'm having a new one made now with 14.
14, okay.
Yeah, 7 and 7. So yeah, it's a very interesting instrument. It's got an amazing big sound, you know, and it's got I was playing it backstage to the girls backstage, and they were like, Zen, you know.
Zen is good.
Zen is good, yeah.
But let's pretty much get inspired by that music right now. What do you think? Let's go and have a performance.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go, all right. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's go right now to the performance. Stay tuned.